So, but again, directly a relationship for the temperature cannot be actually derived. So what we are actually going to do is, we know there is actually not no relation directly dealing with the temperatures and all. With the zeroth law is actually there, but we cannot actually use anyway in this. So what we are actually going to do is, so we have to start from the first law of thermodynamics. Okay, we have to start from first law of thermodynamics. First law of thermodynamics. What does first law says? Uh, First law says that energy is actually going to be conserved. Okay. Yeah, so that's what we are actually going to see it over here. Uh, and also we have to actually see that we are actually the equation we are deriving for equation is actually being derived for equation is being derived for both gases as well as solids. Okay, being derived for liquids or fluids as well as solids and solids. Okay, so we are actually going to make a basic equation for liquids and solids. We are not separately doing it. So since we are actually saying that fluids are actually going to be in matter, so we know for fluids there is actually movement of the molecules and all. Even for solids there is actually the transfer of electrons. Okay, so therefore we can actually say that there is actually it is actually going to be an open system or closed system. Okay, since movement of molecules or movement of particles are actually there, we have to actually consider the first law for open system or closed system. Anyone say? If since the movement of particles are actually there, movement means there is actually transfer of particles are actually there. So it has to be done for open system or closed system. Yeah, very good. So open system means it is actually the control volume system. Okay. So analysis need to be done on open system. Okay, which is actually also known as or control volume system. Control volume. Okay, so that's why we are actually going to consider the control volume. Yeah. So therefore, it is actually known as the control volume analysis that we are actually going to follow. So just as a side note, do you know these thermodynamics laws? Is that actually formulated for open system or closed system? The first law, it is actually formulated basically for closed system. That means the controlled mass system. Okay. But whatever the thermodynamic laws or thermodynamic analysis we are actually being done for closed controlled volume system or the open system, it is just the derived version only. Obviously, we can actually directly analyze it as a corollary of a first law. We can actually say the energy is actually being conserved that we are actually applying to the open system and all. But basically, what we have to actually do is we have to actually do a Reynolds transport theorem analysis to convert the first law or any of the conservation laws for the control mass system to control volume system. Okay, so the RTT, Reynolds transport theorem, Reynolds transport theorem. Okay, Reynolds transport theorem, which is also known as RTT. Okay, so RTT is actually the mechanism which actually converts the conservation laws from the control volume system, a control mass system to control volume system. Okay, so we have to actually basically do that. But it's actually a bit complicated. It's not that much difficult or something. But for yeah, so and also we can actually see that whatever the first law of thermodynamics, whatever you are actually saying for the open system, we can see that it is actually a derived version of this Reynolds transport theorem only. Okay, Even though we are doing it as it is, but it is actually a derived version of Reynolds transport theorem. So this heat diffusion equation also, we should be actually using this Reynolds transport theorem for further analysis. Okay, but we are actually not going for that. We will actually directly apply our first law to the open systems. So in that way, you will get a better feel of this energy analysis. Okay, so that's why we are not going for the Reynolds transport theorem. We are actually directly giving the analysis of first law to the open system. Okay, so that's what we are actually going to see. Before moving further, we must actually know that there are actually various coordinate systems, right? So we are having a rectangular coordinate system or the Cartesian coordinate system. We are having cylindrical as well as we are having spherical coordinate system. Okay? So we will actually see all of these coordinate systems now. First, we will actually see the Cartesian, which is actually the simplest. Then we will see the cylindrical, and then we will actually use the same analogy for the derivation of heat transfer in the spherical coordinate system. Okay. So therefore, we are actually going to see it for the Cartesian systems. Yeah. So now, Cartesian system, we are actually going to see Cartesian system. Okay. I will just show the control volume we are actually going to deal with. So if this is actually the Cartesian, we are having a very large mass or something. So in that, we are actually taking a infinitesimally small volume. Okay, so in the rectangular, we can actually say it is actually a cube or parallelepiped or something. Okay, you can actually see this is actually the system or the control volume over which we are actually going to have the analysis. Okay, so we can actually see. Okay. So this is actually one phase. This is actually one phase. And since we are actually going to deal with the 3D condition, we have to actually draw the other phases also. Okay. Okay. So we have now the 6 phases. Now we have to have dimensions now. Okay. We can actually use this curve. Okay. So we can actually say the this is actually the coordinate system, right? So we can actually say this is actually the coordinate system. Okay. So this is x, this is y, and perpendicular to these two, perpendicular to the screen, we are having z. Okay, yeah, perpendicular to screen, we are having z. So therefore, we can actually see this is actually the z direction. So therefore, this is actually dz. Okay, and this is in the y direction. This height is in the y direction. We can actually say this is actually del y. Okay, and this one is in the x direction. So we can actually say this is actually del x. Okay, so therefore we can see that this is actually the differential control volume of dimensions delta x, delta y, and delta z in x, y, and z directions. Okay, delta x, delta y, and delta z in x, y, and z directions. So therefore, what is actually the volume? Volume dV or delta V is equal to delta x into delta y into delta z. Okay, so that is actually the control volume we are actually talking about. And now we have to actually show off what are actually the energies associated with this. Okay, So basically in the x direction, energy is actually going in. So this is actually Q in x direction. Okay. Likewise in y direction. Okay. So in y direction, energy is actually going in, right? Oh no, I'm sorry. So this is actually the z direction, perpendicular to the screen. That is actually the z direction. So in the x direction, we are having qx, okay, and in the y direction, yeah. So in the y direction to the bottom surface, to y is actually getting it. Is that clear? Is it clear from where all these energies are actually getting in? Can anyone confirm? Qz in a phase 1, okay, Qz, Qy in a phase bottom, and Qx in the left phase. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is actually the Q in we are actually talking about. Okay. So also there is actually going to be some amount of Q out also is actually possible, right? So what we are actually saying is that Q out is also happening. For example, in the y direction, in the top surface, Q is actually going out. Okay, but that is actually happening at a distance Qy plus delta y. Okay, so therefore we can actually say that these surfaces, heat is actually getting in at a phase where x is actually at the direction x. Okay, so likewise Qy is actually getting into the phase at the location y, and also the Qz is actually getting into the phase at location z. So therefore, at which location phase this heat is actually getting out in y direction? It is actually at Qy plus delta y. Okay. So likewise, heat is actually getting out in x direction from a phase which is actually situated at Qx plus delta x. So likewise, for in the z direction, Q is actually getting out at a phase Qz plus delta z. Okay. So that is actually the Q in as well as the Q out. So there are actually two more terms of heat, which is actually the heat generated. So there is actually high possibility that heat is actually being generated. So there is actually some amount of heat which is actually generated within the control volume itself. Okay, we don't know. Maybe some electric connections are actually going to be there because of the resistance. Heat is actually being generated, or some chemical reactions are actually going to be happening. So combustion is actually happening. So within the control volume itself, heat is actually being generated. We don't know what is actually happening. Okay, and there is actually one more term which is actually the heat stored. Okay, so heat stored is actually due to, because we can actually say that because heat is actually being generated over here, right? So some energy is actually being stored with it. What is actually the energy storage? It is actually the increase in the temperature of the volume within. As the time varies, more and more temperature is actually going to be, or the system control volume is actually going to be of higher temperature. Then we can actually say some energy is actually being stored also. Okay, so these are actually the different terms which we need to actually deal with now. Okay, so now we got our all the tools. Now we have to actually go for the first law of thermodynamics. Okay, so now we are actually going to apply. We are going to apply first law of thermodynamics. Thermodynamics. Okay. So what does this first law of thermodynamics says? So what does this first law of thermodynamics says? So first law is actually says that the rate of heat conducted into the control volume, the rate of heat conducted into the control volume, plus the rate of heat generation. Okay, so rate of heat generation. Okay, so these are actually the two terms which are actually gained by the system, right? So more heat is actually getting into the system, as well as some amount of heat is actually being generated. So these are actually the gain by the system. Okay, for these are for this particular control volume, these are actually the heat which is actually available for that. So therefore, we can actually say that the first law says that heat is actually, or energy is actually going to be conserved. So whatever it is actually available to that, it should be actually either stored or it should be actually get out. Okay, so that's what the first law is actually saying. The rate of heat conducted into the control volume plus rate of heat generated should be equal to the rate of heat conducted out of control volume plus energy stored. Okay, so rate of energy stored. Okay, so this is actually the first law of thermodynamics. Okay, so this is actually going to our basis. Okay. Yeah, till now it is actually the thermodynamics only we are actually going to deal with. So therefore, we can actually say that Q in plus rate of heat generated is, we are actually saying E gen is equal to Q out plus E stored. It is actually as simple as that. Okay. Yeah, so this is actually the first law of thermodynamics as it is. Okay, we can actually maybe name it as 1. So, but we actually know that Q in is equal to what? What is actually Q in? Q in is equal to Qx plus Qy plus Qz. Okay, so mind it, here we are actually talking about the total quantity, not the flux. Okay, here we are actually talking about the total quantity. Okay. So therefore, Q in is equal to Qx plus Qy plus Qz, whereas Q out is equal to Qx plus delta x, which is actually happening through the phase which is actually at the location x plus delta x, Qy plus delta y plus Qz plus delta z. Okay. Yeah. So now we are actually getting somewhere. So now we have to actually equate all these things. Okay. So therefore, we can actually say that Qx plus Qy plus Qz plus E generated is equal to Qx plus delta x plus Qy plus delta y plus Qz plus delta z plus E stored. Okay. Yeah. So till here, everything is actually fine. So we have actually predicted everything according to the first law of thermodynamics. Okay. So now the trick actually starts. So, but we actually know that this Qx, which is actually happening, is actually due to the temperature gradient. Okay, till now, everything is actually according to the thermodynamics. So now is actually where the heat transfer comes into picture, because we know that from this equation we cannot actually do anything. We cannot actually directly measure the heat flux in any manner. We cannot actually measure the heat generated as it is, or we cannot actually measure the heat stored. Okay. Yeah. So now is where the heat transfer comes into picture. So we know that Qx is equal to what? Minus K, obviously dou T by dou X, into what is actually the area through which heat flux is actually happening, okay, in the X direction. What is actually the area through which Qx is actually getting in? Can anyone say?
YZ.
Delta y into delta z. Okay, very good. So therefore, we can actually say that Qx is equal to minus K dt by dx into dy into dz. Okay. So likewise, we can actually write it for Qy as well as z also. That we will actually see later. So, but the another thing is that we need to actually now find what is actually Qx plus delta x. Okay. So we need to actually find Qx plus delta x. Okay. You might actually say that k into dt by dx is the same one, but it is actually not the same. Because we said that we are actually saying Qx is actually a function of x actually. Okay. So luckily for us, there is actually one theorem which is actually now we can actually say that Qx is actually a function of x, and also therefore the same function is actually there for Qx plus delta x also. Okay. So Qx and Qx plus delta x, these are all from the same function. Okay. So therefore, what we are actually going to do is, we are actually going to use Taylor series expansion. You have actually studied it during your math classes, right? Taylor series expansion. That's what we are actually going to do now. So see why these max etc. actually comes into picture over here, right? So the Taylor series, it actually says that for finding a value of x at a little bit far away from x, okay, so here we are actually trying to find the relation between x and delta x plus delta x. We are actually trying to find the relationship between f of x and f of x plus delta x. So that is actually the Taylor series expansion says. Taylor series says. So it actually says that in order to find x plus delta x, we can actually find from x itself. So it is equal to f of x plus f dash s. That means d by dx of f of x into dx by 1 factorial plus d square by dx square of f of x, d square by dx square of f of x into dx square by 2 factorial, like that, plus all the higher terms. Okay, so that's what we are actually going to use it over here. So we can actually apply it over here now. Okay, so therefore we can actually say that Qx plus delta x is equal to Qx plus dou by dou x of, here it was actually only a function of x. That's why we actually used a full differential. So it is actually, Q is actually a function of x, y, and z. So therefore we are actually saying Qx is equal to dou by dou x of Qx, okay, into delta x. We are actually finding it delta x, right? Plus dou square Qx by dou x square into delta x square by 2 factorial plus all the higher order terms. Okay. So that's how we are actually trying to find the Qx or the heat out from the phase x plus delta x. Okay. So there is actually, we can actually make this thing simple, because here we are talking about an infinitesimal volume. Okay. Delta x is actually very, very small. We are actually squaring the delta x, then again it is actually going to be very small. So therefore, we can actually say that this third term is actually negligible compared to that of the second term. Okay? So therefore, we can actually neglect all the higher order terms. We are actually using only the first order. Okay. So therefore, we can actually say that Qx is equal to Qx plus delta x is equal to Qx plus dou by dou x of Qx into delta x. Okay. So likewise, we can actually use this for all the terms in the y direction as well as the z direction. We can actually use. Okay. So therefore, we can actually say Qy plus delta y is equal to Qy plus dou by of Qy into delta y, and Qz plus delta z is equal to Qz plus dou by z of Qz into delta z. Okay, so we can actually call it as 2, for example. Okay. Yeah, so maybe we can actually call this as a 1.1 or something. Okay. Yeah, so now we are actually getting somewhere. So now we have to actually incorporate all these into the new one. Okay, so now previously we said delta Qx, right? So previously we said Qx plus Qy plus Qz into all these things. So now we are actually now we are actually incorporating everything into one equation. Okay. So before that, we have to actually find what is actually the heat generated and all, right? So now we have to actually see what is actually the heat generated. The E generated, the total heat generated or total energy generated is equal to, we can actually write as Q dot delta x, delta y, delta z. Okay, so where Q dot is actually the heat generated per unit volume. Heat generated per unit volume. Okay, so this one we can actually find from a basic chemical analysis, or if you are actually giving out the current, we can actually see what is actually the total voltage drop across the full system. Okay, and we can actually measure the current. Okay, for example, we can actually measure the total voltage drop across the full system. Okay, and the current obviously we can actually measure divided by total volume. Okay, that is actually the volume heat generated per unit volume. Okay, so that's what it is actually for, easy for us to analysis and all, or easy for us to calculate, or easy for us to measure. So therefore, we are actually writing our heat generated in terms of the heat generated per unit volume. Okay, heat generated, sometimes in some textbook it is actually written as Q gen. Okay, in some textbook it is actually written like a Q with a dot on the top. Okay, okay. Yeah. So that is actually the heat generated per unit volume, and we can actually say that this is actually positive. It is heat is actually being generated. Okay, or we can actually say positive for source. Okay, and we can actually say the heat generated is actually going to be negative for a sink. Okay, for a sink. So that means heat is actually going to be absorbed. So in that case, heat is actually going to be negative. If heat is actually generated, it is positive. It is actually going to be absorbed, then it is actually going to be negative. So these things will be actually clear when you are actually doing some problems. So then now we have to actually see what is actually the energy stored. Okay. So once energy stored, we said that the temperature is actually going to be increased. Okay. But what we can actually say about this energy storage? Okay. So what we can actually write, how we can actually write for an energy stored, whatever is actually coming in. Suppose the energy of a system increases from T1 to T2. What you will actually say is actually the how you are actually writing the increase in the temperature or increase in the energy. Obviously, M is actually going to be there. Then what is actually this? Specific heat into delta T. That's what we can actually say, right? So MC delta T, that is actually the energy stored in a system. Because we know that C is actually the energy required to raise by 1 degree Celsius. Since it is actually raised to delta T or T1 minus T2, C into delta T, that is actually the energy given to the system. Okay, the total energy in order to get, we can actually write it as total mass of the system. Okay, is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good. So a total mass, we are actually talking about, we are actually talking about total mass of the full volume, full system, we are actually saying. So total mass divided by total volume, we can actually write it as rho C delta T. Okay. So in this case, since we are actually considering it as a liquid or as a solid, etc., Cp is equal to Cv usually. Okay. So therefore, we can actually write it as a simply C or since it is actually mainly liquid, we are usually talks about Cp. Okay, so therefore we can actually write it as rho Cp delta T. Here, no pressure is actually varying, but there is a chance that volume might be actually varying. Okay, so therefore we can actually write it as rho Cp delta T. Okay, but what is actually this delta T? Delta T is actually happening over a time. Okay, so all these things we are actually talking about per unit time, right? Because the unit of heat, it is also, we are actually talking about the watts and all. Okay, everything is actually time rated, we are actually talking about. Okay, so therefore we should actually write this energy stored also in terms of time. Okay, so therefore we can actually write is dou by dou T of rho Cp T. Okay, into obviously the volume, delta X into delta Y into delta Z. So that is actually the energy stored by the system. But in most of the cases, we can actually consider it to be a constant temperature, constant density under Cp. So therefore, we can actually write rho Cp dot T by dot T into delta X into delta Y into delta X. Okay. So now we got all the components. Now we can actually write as Qx plus Qy plus Qz, right? Plus E generated is actually given by Q into delta V, we can actually write is equal to Qx plus delta X plus Qy plus delta Y plus Qz plus delta Z plus rho Cp dot T by dot T into delta. Okay. Yeah. So we are actually getting somewhere now. So now we can actually find what is actually the net change in heat in each direction. Well, now we are actually going to see that now. Okay. So we can actually take all these terms to the LHS. So in that case, we can actually write Qx minus Qx plus delta X plus Qy minus Qy plus delta Y plus Qz minus Qz plus delta Z plus Q into delta V is equal to rho Cp dot T by dot T into delta. Okay, yeah. So now we are actually going to see what we can actually do further. But we know that, from our basic equation, Qx plus delta X is equal to Qx plus dou by dou X of Qx into delta X. So therefore, we can write Qx minus Qx plus delta X is equal to minus dou by dou X of Qx into delta X. Okay. So till now, we have actually reached. So now what is actually Qs? We have to directly put it into that. Okay. So this actually gives us minus dou by dou X of minus K dou T by dou X into delta X, delta Y into delta Z. So that's what we said is actually the Qx into delta X. Okay. So that we can actually write as dou by, so that we can actually write as dou by dou X of K into dou T by dou X into delta X into delta Y into delta Z. Okay. So this minus signs are getting cancelled. Is that clear till now? Is it clear till now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's it. That's all we have to actually study for now, or that's what we have to actually see till now. So therefore, we can actually see that Qy minus Qy plus delta Y is equal to the same thing we can actually write, right? Dou by dou Y of K into dou T by dou Y into delta V, because delta X into delta Y into delta Z is actually delta V. So also Qz minus Qz plus delta Z is equal to dou by dou Z of K into dou T by dou Z into delta. Okay. So now we got all our things. Now we have to simply put it everything into the final equation. Okay. So therefore we can actually see that dou by dou X of K into dou T by dou X into delta V plus dou by dou X of K into dou T by dou Y. Okay. Dou Y into delta V plus dou by dou Z of K into dou T by dou Z of into delta V. What is actually coming after this? Q generation into delta V is equal to rho Cp dou T by dou T into delta V. Okay, so we can actually cancel out delta V from both the sides because delta V is actually common everywhere. Yeah, so which actually gives us the final equation. We can actually write dou by dou x of k into dou t by dou x plus dou by dou y of k into dou t by dou y plus dou by dou z of k into dou t by dou z plus q gen, okay, q generated is equal to rho cp dou t by dou t. Okay, so this we can actually say is actually the basic equation with all the terms for the heat diffusion in the Cartesian coordinate system. Okay, is that clear? Yeah. Okay. So that's how we are actually deriving the energy equation for a conduction equation for this Cartesian system. Okay. The same method we will actually use for convection for the cylindrical system as well as for the spherical systems. Okay. Yeah. So now we are actually going to see something special for this. First, we are actually assuming. Before that, we need to actually see this term particularly. So, what does this each term actually means? Okay. So, what does this each term actually means? So, each term means that net heat flux. Okay. Each term means the terms we can actually say one or okay. So, term one, term two, term three, term four, as well as term five. Okay. So, in this, we can actually say that term 1, 2, and 3, what does that actually mean? This actually means this is actually the net heat conducted in. Okay. So, net heat conduction flux. Okay. Or net flux of heat conduction. Net flux of heat conduction in. Okay. So, net flux of heat conduction into the system. So this term is actually important, into the system, because we said qx minus qy plus, in minus out. So that's what we were actually talking about. So that means this is actually that the first three terms together, it actually tells us what is actually the net heat flux conducted into the system, right? And fourth term, it actually obviously says what is actually the heat generated. So if there is actually a positive term for this net heat flux into the system, that means so there is actually net transfer into the system. Plus heat generated means again a system is actually generating the heat. Okay, that actually should actually replicated as the heat or the energy stored by the system. So that is actually the each and every terms in this particular equation means. Okay. So now we can actually assume a special case in which K is constant, or we can actually say what is actually such a material called?
Isotropic.
Material is actually, yeah. If for isotropic material, we can actually take out the K out of the system, okay, or out of the equations or out of the differentiations. So in that case, we can actually write as dou square T by dou x square, or we can actually say K into plus dou square T by dou y square plus dou square T by dou z square plus q gen is equal to rho Cp into dou T by dou T. Okay. So now we can actually divide all the terms by K. So in that case, it actually becomes dou square T by dou x square plus dou square T by dou y square plus dou square T by dou z square plus Q generated divided by K is equal to rho Cp by K into dou T by dou T. Okay, but have you seen this term rho Cp by K? Or more appropriately, you might have actually seen K by rho Cp. What is this? This is actually the thermal diffusivity. Okay, so this is actually the thermal diffusivity. So now we can actually see what are actually the terms. So first is actually the conductivity, which actually tells us how good the system is actually conducting the heat. And on the denominator, it is actually coming as rho Cp. So that means for a higher Cp, then what does that mean? If the Cp is actually going to be higher, it means it can actually absorb more amount of heat. So therefore, on the numerator, we have the ability of the material to conduct the heat, whereas on the denominator, we are having the ability of the material to absorb the heat. Okay? So therefore, this thermal diffusivity, so this measures this property, this measures the ability of the material to conduct the heat, okay, relative to its ability to store the thermal energy. Okay, so therefore, we can actually say this actually measures the ability of a material to conduct heat relative to its ability to store energy, ability to store thermal energy. Okay, so that is actually the diffusivity of a system. So in the last semester in measurements, mechanical measurements, we have actually seen methods for measuring the thermal diffusivity and using a laser techniques and all. Okay, so that is actually the thermal diffusivity of the system. So therefore, we can actually write this equation as just one more time as yeah. So we can actually write this as what is actually this term all together. We can actually write it as del square T, right? Where del is actually del square is equal to dou square by dou x square, which is actually del square operator, y square plus dou square by dou z square, right? We can actually write it like that. So del square T plus Q by K is equal to 1 by alpha dou T by dou T. Okay. So this is actually another form in which we can actually write, we can actually name it as equation 6. Okay. So this is actually another form in which we can actually write as equation. Okay. Yeah. So this is actually where the basic definitions of conduction is actually going to be happening. And if you actually see the basic equation once more, okay, basic equation once more. So this basic equation number 5. Okay? If we are actually seeing it once more, we can actually again write it in terms of vector. Okay, so we can actually write as del dot K delta T. Okay, because K into delta T, it actually going to be a vector quantity, which is actually heat flux. So therefore, we can actually write, so this actually as del dot K delta T plus heat generated is equal to rho Cp dou T by dou T. Okay. So this one we can actually write as 5A. So why we are actually writing in this sense is that it is actually easy. This is actually a Cartesian system independent. Okay. So this is actually this particular form is actually independent of Cartesian system. So one easy method to convert or derive the basic equation for in the Cartesian system is that you have to simply use this equation, and find the or apply the del operator in the Cartesian system. Okay, then you will actually directly get the heat equation in the Cartesian system or even in the spherical system. Okay, so that is actually the easiest method. But for a cylindrical also, we will actually derive this, and we will see that again the same equation will actually comes up. So in a Cartesian system, we can actually write it as fully. It can be actually written in vector terms, which is actually tells or which is actually a coordinate system independent. And from that, we can actually take up any form of coordinate systems. Okay. Yeah. So this is actually the energy equations in different forms for the conduction in the Cartesian system. Obviously, there are actually going to be different forms. So, for example, steady state condition. In a steady state condition, this term is actually going to be 0. If there is no heat generation, this term is actually going to be 0. So these are all special cases which we will actually see later. Okay. Now we are actually going to see the heat transfer or the heat diffusion equation in the Cartesian or in the cylindrical system. Okay. Yeah, time is 2:40. Okay. Then we can actually start that in the next class. So in the next class, we will be having a 1.5 hour lecture at 11:30 on Monday. Okay. If anyone having any objection for this 1.5 hour lectures, please let me know. We'll actually continue with this. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. Any doubts in this? Anything to discuss?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. Then we can actually stop the class for today. So have a nice day to all. Have a good weekend. And be safe. You know, the numbers are actually rising very much. So be safe. Yeah. And those who are need to be registered now should actually register as early as possible. As soon as your fees is actually verified, you should actually register. Okay. Yeah. And if your fees is actually not getting verified, don't worry. Some issues are actually happening. It will be actually verified. Okay. Okay then. Yeah.
Sir, what if the fee is not yet verified today, sir? Will we get any extension?
No, don't worry. Means that's what means. There is actually some issues going on. So as soon as your fee is verified, you don't worry about fee verification. As soon as your fees is verified, you register.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.